Hey everybody, it's me Sabrina from Make It Make Sense. And we are back, baby. We're kicking off with a mic drop moment. Why do some women feel the need to announce their independence like it's breaking news? Is it empowering or just extra? Is she proving it to him or herself? This episode we unpack the side eyes, confusion, and the commentary from the fellows who just are trying to figure it out. Sis, who asked anyways? Real talk, no fluff, and yes, we missed you too. So we're back. I'm so sorry that it's taken this long to get back. I'll be honest with you. It's been it's been a long road. We've had a lot of stuff going on these past few months, and my apologies because we've missed you as much as you've missed us. So we're back and ready. I'm waiting for my co-host, my panelist to join us. That would be Lily. She should be joining us anytime. And I heard, rumor has it, that Rocco may be popping in. Now he's kind of in and out right now. I think he's taking his show on the road. He's doing some other things that kind of make him busy. So let's dive right into this. Again, tonight's episode is about independent women. I mean, who asked you? Why do some women feel that the need to announce that they're independent? Like, I can do this, I got this. I would think that men or anybody who encounters a woman would know if she's independent or not. I mean, I'm independent. I handle 99.9% of everything in the house by myself. It actually looks like Rocco's coming into the studio. As him pulling back the chair. So Rocco is in the studio. So you probably won't even recognize his voice. He's been so long. Go ahead and say, hey, Rocco.
Hey, how y'all doing? Okay.
So do you know about tonight's episode?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll let you, since you haven't been with us in about 15 years, why don't you dive right in for us?
Well, me personally, if a woman always telling you, I can do this by myself, I'm this and that, and I think it's a problem. Because for one, besides, what do you need me for? That's what most men would think. And if you are the breadwinner, a man don't want to hear that during the week and during the month all the time that you the breadwinner. You know, so I think it's a minus when a woman boasts about what she does for herself and her household. I think it's a minus.
I don't think a woman needs to boast. Now, I'm supposed to be the devil's advocate on this, or maybe I'm supposed to be the other side of the coin. But I'm fairly independent. I mean, I've done everything. Shoot, I've done most of it. I do most of it by myself. I have done most of it by myself up until about a year ago, and then I still do most of it. I mean, it's running the household, but just because it's not the breadwinner in the whole thing, I don't think if you make money or not, that doesn't matter.
Most women boast that they got their own job, they do their own thing.
Well, they're supposed to,
So
but why would
that's,
you boast about that? That's just the way life is now.
I mean, who wants to hear it? Yeah, what man wants to hear it? But I mean, the
I,
problem is,
I'm supposed to disagree with you on this, and I can't. I don't think it's something you boast about. I can't be the other side of this coin
but
on
I
this.
mean, I mean, I understand. Maybe it's too simple then, because and then let's take it another direction. Uh, Women that make a lot of money are like independent, the head of their household. They feel they never had time for the man anyway. So what kind of relationship do they really have? When a woman works most of the time, that's all she has is her work. She don't have no time for anything else. See, men do it a little different. They fit stuff in to do. Women don't fit it in as much. You
Well,
know.
I think women, and this is I'm not a professional, although I think I am not a professional, but I think that women still feel that they have the need to prove something, whether it's running the household, being the head of the household, or if it's working their asses off at their job. I think it's like if you're on top, you got to stay on top. And take from somebody who just recently, I mean, shoot, I don't even know the last time we were on the podcast, but I mean, recently I walked away from a job that I loved. I used to love, and I was on for a long time, made some really good money. Dropped the mic moment, dropped my keys on the counter, said deuces, and walked out the door. I went from being really extremely independent to having to rely on somebody more. And that's really humbling for somebody like me because I never was a boaster. I never walked around saying, yeah, I do this all by myself.
But you was boasting to yourself.
I didn't have to because I was very proud of what I had accomplished. It may not be a lot, but I accomplished it, and that means a lot for anybody, whether it's you or But I still needed a man. I still wanted a man in my life. I
But
still
do
needed
you?
one.
But once you've been independent and was the breadwinner, and when you had to be humble, or do you act the same with your significant other?
Oh no, no, no. Now that I've humbled myself down, it's almost I can't say it's not degrading, but I hate the fact that I have to go to somebody else and say, "Hey, I need money to pay the bills this month," because I'm not. I'm still kind of in between life choices right
I
now.
mean, you was kind of like boastful when you was on top then, right? That's
I
just
wasn't
saying.
boastful. I didn't need to be boastful.
You
I never. But
sure?
here's the thing: I didn't have to be
I've
boastful,
hung out with you a couple times,
but I
so
wasn't boastful.
I
I just
think
never had to go to anybody for anything.
I think
I
so.
was able to take care of myself. Now I'm not able to take care of myself as much. I need somebody else.
Someone told me, no matter what you do in life, no matter how successful you are, everybody needs help at some point.
I agree with that.
No matter what it is, financially, mentally,
And I never said,
physically.
and a man that says, a woman who says, and we just had our panelist Lily join us, but a woman who says, and this is just my opinion, but I think a woman who says, I don't need a man,
I'm not saying they
is
said
not,
that.
is, I think every woman
I don't think
needs a
they're saying
man.
you don't need a
I think you
man.
need a man in your life. I think you need that counterpart.
They're saying, like I done heard it a couple times. I pay my own bills. I take care of my own house. I take care of my kids. Okay, that's your job. So why do you have to tell that you the breadwinner?
I
So
don't,
undoubtedly, I'm hoping the women that's boasting this are single.
well, I don't know. I
You
mean,
know what I'm
you
saying?
heard it. So were they single?
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, on occasion, I know one
there's,
of them is not.
there's, there's, there's there's something a woman see a woman I think she needs to say, listen, I can do, because a lot of times there's the stigma of a woman needs a man, so a woman's automatically going to say, I don't need a man, I'm doing all this on my own.
But I don't seen a woman humble before
You're looking at
and
one.
messed up their and this woman here messed up their relationship because she does a lot of things for the show. You know, a lot of things she do is just for people to say, damn, you did that, yeah.
Yep.
She doing it, But then when she broke up with that guy, it was totally different. Now you're still doing these things, but behind closed doors, you're begging for help.
Yeah.
That I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you go be independent, be it all the way.
Well, it's not, sometimes like I said, just because I was independent, I was very independent, I didn't need anything.
Can an independent woman be in a relationship?
I didn't have to be, I didn't need to go to anybody for anything.
No, that's not a mess. Can an
Of
independent
course you can still
woman
be independent.
carry, and not
Carry?
just being one, can she be uh, uh, a good plus one when she's been independent all this time and come into a relationship?
Of course you
Can
can.
she? You sure?
Yeah, of
Most
course.
women can't handle that.
But here's the thing, because most women don't know their places. If I can be independent all day long, but when it comes to, just because I can pay the bills, I can pay my own bills, and I don't have to have a man help me pay my bills,
Mhm.
or help me.
That's what-
I can have sex with myself. I don't need a man. I want a man. I don't
That's what
need a
makes you
man.
independent, right?
No,
When
that's
you
not makes me
independent,
independent. It's
when
not.
you pay your own bills.
That's not, independence does not mean just because I pay my bills doesn't make me independent. It means that I can I can take
I
care
can
of
do
myself.
everything without a man.
I can
That's
take care of
independent.
myself.
That's
Yeah,
being
but it doesn't mean
independent.
just paying the bills. That means just I can take care of myself. I can
Right,
I
right.
can walk my dogs. I can paint my house. I can cook myself dinner. I can put myself to bed. I can do all this independently. It doesn't mean that I want to live like that. It just means that
I
I'm
know
okay
a
by
couple
myself.
of things you can do.
Yeah, so do I. My battery's just about dead. Lily, welcome. We haven't heard from you in a long time. How's it going?
Hey y'all.
Hey,
What's that?
you're a little bit low. Let me turn you up a little bit. Can you hear us?
I can hear y'all. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
good deal.
And my background?
Tonight's topic is why do some women feel they need to announce their independence like it's breaking news? Is it empowering? Is it just extra? So you heard, I don't know if you how
Maybe
much.
because they
They just
just got to
extra
the
because
place to
you
pray.
shouldn't have to announce that you're independent. Like a person will see that you're independent. So why do you have to announce it?
Yeah, you don't need to announce it. I agree with 100%. That's what I just said to Rocco. I was like, if you people walk in and say, okay, she's got her shit together. Not mine. My shit's all over the place. But
I'm thinking, you know, I
I'm
mean,
80% together. I'm
maybe this is
20%
a
fucked up.
situation. Maybe before this year or something, they went independent. Maybe they just came into the women I've been hearing said just came into independence.
I don't know.
So maybe that's the
Maybe,
thing.
maybe they've gone through a separation and they're coming out of it and saying, listen, I'm independent. Maybe that's what it is. I don't need a man. I don't know what
But
the conversation was you were having,
but you
but
know you can't be independent in a relationship, right?
you can be independent in a relationship. I've been in a relationship, not now, not this moment, but prior to this, I was in a relationship, and I was still independent. I still took care of myself. I still paid my bills. I still took care of the household. Now I'm more dependent on somebody because I need help. I need help with my
Mentally,
with everything. With everything. When I don't have that steady job, my job was my outlet, and when I don't have that, I'm a lot more confused. My life seems like it's a lot more messed up. I
well,
depend
maybe
more on
it was
I
already.
depend more on my spouse to listen to me and to guide me and to help me through these rough times. I mean, I'm more dependent now than I was prior. It's just what it is.
But then when you was independent, you ain't asked for all this, though, right?
I was more together. There's something
Yeah.
about,
So
I had a lot more together.
oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
What you think, Lily?
I feel like, how can I say? First of all, you can't be independent and be in a relationship. You can't. It doesn't work like that.
Thank
It's
you.
always gonna be y'all gonna depend on each other in a relationship for something to lift each other up or whatever the case might be. That's number one.
It don't
Number
have to be
two,
financial. Go
Sabrina,
ahead.
you you're self sufficient. So you just not having that job or whatever the case might be, it's still the same thing. You just had your partner equals you out, like it balances you out, and that goes for anybody. So it's like you can't say you can't walk into a relationship and say I'm independent, and halfway through you saying I need you. It's not gonna work like that.
Yeah. I see. There's confusion between being just because I can just because I'm independent, and what I mean by my definition of independence is I can take care of myself. I have taken care of myself for a very long time. When I entered a relationship, it's not that I didn't want to take care of myself. I had the ability to take care of myself, but I still was able to take care of the bills. I was still able to take care of my household, but I also had somebody there that I could let go of that independence. And I don't have to take care of myself so much because I had them in my corner. So there's people that say I don't need anybody. I needed somebody. I'm going to say all day long. I've needed somebody. I'll need somebody later on. I'll need somebody. I've wanted somebody in my life. I have.
Everybody needs somebody, regardless if
Amen.
it's financial, emotional, mental,
Yep.
physical. Everybody needs somebody. Those who walk around and say I'm independent, I don't need nobody, they lonely and miserable, and they having lack of sex. That's what their problem is. Because when
Well,
you have that special person, especially for a woman, that's when you enter your soft girl era. So that means you could just relax. Let your man take the lead. You could
exhale.
just right. You could just be that soft person you're supposed to be and let him be, what I'm saying, the head of the household. You don't have to say, okay, well, I gotta take the trash out. No, that's his job.
What gave
You know
him
what I'm
that?
saying? Like,
There's there's
you know
certain
what?
things I do agree though. I'm with you. There's certain things that I was listening to a podcast about this. There's certain things that the moment you become, they say, the moment a man walks into a relationship with a woman, there's certain roles he should step into. And it's funny that trash because the trash thing's a big thing for me. I dated a guy who doesn't know what a trash can is. No idea. Didn't know he had
I
one.
mean, the trash thing is not a big thing for me because I can take the
It
trash
is a
out
big thing for me
myself.
because
Like
there's certain things that make my
I
life
don't.
easier.
Well, to be honest, making your life easier means everybody does it.
Yeah.
Everybody picks up the trash. Everybody does the laundry. Everybody puts groceries away. Everybody cleans the bathroom. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes life easier. It's not just the men do it or the women do it. Everybody does it. The man and the woman both cook. That's what makes the relationship easier. Because there's gonna be times when he's too tired to cook, and that's when you cook. Just like there's times when you're too tired. You know what I'm saying? He cooks. It goes both ways. Like I don't see what's wrong. I hate that stigma that men are supposed to take out the trash. Why? If you're home, take the damn trash can out. Take the trash out.
Listen, I don't have any problems with a man stepping up and saying, "Listen, And a matter of fact, I have a friend that comes over, and every time he's here, he takes trash out for me because it's you got to stop what you're doing and take trash out. I'd rather have somebody take the trash out for me, and it would be great. They don't have to. I've dated a guy that doesn't even know where trash can is, like I said, but I will tell you, I've also dated guys, or I have friends that come over and say, let me take your trash out. Let me bring the trash can down for you. Instead of driving by it when you come home, and the trash guy comes on Wednesday, they'll pull into the yard, drive up and leave the trash can at the bottom of the street. How much sense does that make? So it's not it would be, to me, it's like men don't have to take the trash out, but it's one of those things that men do take the trash out. It's like, let me take that trash out. It's just something that they fall into. But
I
if you
don't know.
get somebody who doesn't take the trash out,
I
who
grew up.
doesn't put away the groceries, who doesn't wash your car, who doesn't check your oil change,
Well, listen. When it comes to cars, I am ignorant. Okay, not ignorant, ignorant. So don't ask me about no car. Okay, I'm quick to call a man in my life. Like,
there's
listen, what's wrong
certain
with the car?
roles that a man should play. And it's like, it goes back to, we've done this before in podcasts. There's certain roles a woman does, and there's certain roles a man should
Like,
play.
okay, this is how I feel about it. Everybody has their roles, right? But if my
That's
man
right.
just worked 13 hours, I don't have a problem taking the trash out or pulling trash cans to the curb.
Oh, hell
I
no.
don't have a problem with
Oh,
that.
hell
I have sons that do it too,
no.
and hell, my
None of
son's
us should
friends
be
do
above
it.
it. They shouldn't be above it.
But
It's kind of like,
just like I do laundry, you do laundry,
yep.
kids do laundry. You know what I'm saying? We all cook, we all clean, we all play our part to keep the household running smoothly.
There's not. There's see. That's the thing. You can't. See. I'm at the stage right now. It's like where, like I said, I was always able to take care of myself. However, I still am. I still am. I mean, I still can, but I do rely on my
That's
partner
what
more
he
than I
said.
did.
But as an adult, first of all, as an adult, you should be able to take care of yourself regardless, and that goes for anybody. You should be able to.
Say
Once
that
you're an
again.
adult, once you're an adult, you should be able to take care of yourself regardless,
Yeah,
if
everybody
you
needs help.
with or without somebody.
Yeah, everybody needs
We
help.
just went over that. Everybody, no matter how successful you are,
You need help.
you need help.
Yeah,
It may not be
and
Of
especially
financial.
when
course,
somebody's.
Sometimes it's mental, physical, anything.
no, of
Motivation.
course,
Mhm.
everyone needs help. But what I'm saying is, as far as your basic necessities of life, like paying your bills and stuff like that, you shouldn't necessarily depend on another person.
Oh, I
Like
can
if you're single,
do.
that's what you're supposed to do. So when you get
As
in a
far
relationship, it's supposed to go down the middle.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't work like that. But I've never had to. This is how humble it is. Like, I was at the same job for 13 years, and it's like made really good money. So it's really humble for me to say, listen, I need to pay the electric bill. You got $100? It's like, and then you have to ask 15 times. So that's
I don't know.
something
See,
for me.
like
I've always had the ability to take care of myself.
you sure you have to ask 15 times? Or maybe they didn't hear you the first time. Maybe you have to continue to ask. That's what I'm thinking.
So
Because I don't do stuff right off the rip. You have to remind me.
I know I just say
I don't know. I just feel like a word of advice when it comes to that. Just when the bills are due, put the bill on the table and say, "Listen, this is what got to be paid." Sit down like adults and go through the bills.
You come to the table. That's how you do it over
The
there?
adults should go to the table. Like I don't know. That's how I was raised. That's how I see my mom and my stepdad do. That's how I see my grandparents do it. They sat down together as a team and went through the bills and said, "Okay, listen, if
I never
for
saw
instance,
that.
if one paying the mortgage and the property tax and the car insurance, the other one could pay the water bill, the light bill, and the car note. So that way, no one is paying more than the other. Like you pay the same. And then
yeah,
when it comes to groceries, that's a team effort too. Like
I remember that.
if you know your spouse likes to eat certain things, when you go to the grocery store, you buy your spouse what they like to eat. So that way they can't say, "Oh, well, you didn't. I don't have nothing to eat." Well, yes, you do. They go hot pocket or whatever you like.
I
But I'm just saying, my grandmother was very independent once she left her husband. Very independent.
But she still called your grandfather over to help with the children, to
Then
help
she
with.
called him to
So
kick
that
ass
wasn't.
and
It's a
shit
saying.
like
There's
that.
nobody's 100% independent.
But
Everybody's eight.
I never in my life heard her boast about that.
She didn't have to. So some women who need to. Some women. It's like
Well,
Lily said. You don't. I said
like
something. I said you don't have to boast. If you should just be able
I
to.
could say she was independent. but I never heard her say, "I do this for myself. I do this and I do that." I never heard. I think that's a younger woman thing because I never heard her say, "Well, I take care of my kids. I take care of it." That never came out of her mouth. I mean, she just did it. So that
Hmm.
you know, that's independence, right?
I think women just do what has to be done. I mean,
I,
if it's put in front of you, do what you have to
what
do.
I'm saying is, a topic is, why would you boast? I never heard them boast. I never,
I can't.
maybe, I never heard her boast.
I don't think women. I don't think you need to boast. I
I,
think it speaks. I think you speak for yourself. You don't have to boast.
I think I heard my mother boast once she got older about what she did. I think she just like to talk. But young women are quick to say, I pay my own bills, I do all this and I do all that. But you be the one going over to the man's house and he got an old lady or a wife, but you're independent, right?
You do what? The woman comes over to the man's house.
The independent woman, though.
It goes over and the man's got a wife.
Mm-hmm. She cuts the fool over there.
She's not independent. She's a whore. That's different.
Whoa,
No,
don't do
I've
that.
been a whore.
Hey.
I've dated married men before.
Shit. A married woman is a good thing to have.
Exactly. I made a living off married men. That's how my cars got paid for. It's my boobs got bought. I don't have any problems with that.
You still with them?
No.
Shit.
I know. Sometimes you choose. You don't choose right.
Yeah.
You don't marry well.
Married poorly.
That's right. But I mean, that's. I don't have any. That doesn't mean you're not independent, though. I mean, wait. If they're going, so if she's going with her for sex, is she going with her for sex? Or is she going with?
I'm just saying, she's just independent, but she needs something. So don't tell me you're independent when you need something. You need something. You need that quality time, or you need that wood. It's one or the other, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're not independent. That doesn't mean
It sounds like you ain't.
Well, so what? So I can. Just because I take care of myself doesn't mean that you don't prefer like a dick sometimes, right?
I ain't never preferred one.
Well,
Was you talking to me? Or legally? What did you say?
In general. I'm saying in general. Because sometimes you can be independent, but you still want a dick. That's why a lot of women. That's why a lot of women will date married men because they don't have to have that dependency on a man. They don't have to have a man in their life. They don't want it, but they do want that dick and companionship every once in a while when they want it. Go ahead and keep talking.
Well, shit, we didn't understand
I
that.
think that was for me, Rocco. I don't think that was.
I was hoping so.
You think that was?
She looked at me when she said it. What the fuck, bro? I was like, what the fuck you looking at me for? You know. But like I say,
I think that was.
I mean, I think the younger generation defines independency different. That's
Right.
But
I
see,
mean, I agree with that because I feel
I
like the
think
younger
you define.
generation just they
I
so
think
quick
young
to say
people define it different.
I'm independent, but don't know what independency actually means
Right.
or what it
But see,
entails.
I think men come in the world independent. That's what I believe.
Well, it depends on.
But they're not
Okay, no
saying
one comes in
that
the
you
world.
need
Let me
to.
tell you something. No one comes in the world independent because you need your mama to
You
feed
know
you.
what I
You need
mean?
your mama
Wait,
to dress you.
okay, now you taking me
And I've met
literally.
some men.
My
I've met
bad.
some men that are not that are very dependent. Very dependent. It's not maybe they don't. They're not dependent. They prefer to have a woman do everything or take
Right.
care of them than
And I
them do
understand
themselves.
that. Now,
So they're dependent at that point in time on a woman, which is it should be just the opposite. The moment a man and woman step into a relationship, a man should step up and if a woman has problems, a man in that relationship should say, should say, how do I solve your problems? How do I help you solve your problems? That should be something that they take on.
but
And
what
help them
about
out.
when she always thinks she can solve her own? So when you let her solve her own problem, because that's what she used
But I
to,
have a
right?
problem with that, Bree. Like
That was she did. She's a
I
problem
have a problem
solver.
with that statement
I'm
because it
trying
shouldn't be the.
to
I'm just saying in general, I couldn't relate. Go ahead, Lily. I said I couldn't relate because I've never said that.
I say I have a problem with that statement because I don't feel like it should always be the man stepping up to solve the problem. The woman should step up to solve the man's problem too.
That's right. But
Like
a man
it goes
has
both ways.
a man wants to nurture. A man should say, "This is my woman. My job is to protect her, and that's the truth. A man, the moment that you want to go, a woman falls back into her soft girl era or her soft girl phase, whatever it is, she falls back onto it. That's when the man steps up and says, "My job is to protect my baby. My job is to take care of her and make sure that she's good. Her problems are my problems. I don't." Men carry a lot of weight in their shoulders that we don't know about. They don't always convey everything that's going on in their mind, but they also will take on our problems if you're in a relationship and say, "Listen, she's not sleeping at night," and we'll worry about us and make sure that we're taken care of.
Maybe if you're not sleeping at night, take some sleeping pills or something. You'll go to sleep.
Mm.
Okay, go to sleep.
I mean, I think I want to sleep when I'm going through something. I won't sleep. I want to be drowsy.
I know. I can't sleep. I have bad dreams. I can't sleep. I got too much on my mind.
When you take sleeping pills, you don't have
I
bad
don't.
dreams.
I don't take sleeping pills.
Well, maybe you should take some PM or something.
Hmm.
Some
And
trazodone or something.
That's not what it's talking.
Shine is not working.
Yeah, that's not what this talking
Trazodone.
about. So go ahead.
Look, take some trazodone,
You see you
150
sleeping now?
milligrams. You'll sleep.
Hold on, Lee. I can't hear you.
I say
Go
take
ahead.
some trazodone. I say you take some trazodone, 150 milligrams. You'll sleep. You ain't gonna worry about nobody problems, not even your own, because you'll
Trazodone.
be asleep. Mm-hmm.
That's the one for the headache, right?
No,
So,
trazodone is a sleep. It's a
do you
sleeping
think
pill.
if a woman's actually independent, do you think that she truly doesn't? That she doesn't? Do they want love, or they just want to control the terms of the love?
Everybody want love.
You think so?
Yeah. But I think some of these independent women don't know how to do both. They don't know how to be a woman and take care of things. So you got to be a woman at some point. You got to be the woman that a man just won't.
But let me
And
ask you
need.
this: what if a man's not able to do that?
Not
There's
able to
I
do it.
like not. What if a man's not capable? There's men out there that just don't get it. They don't get
They
that
they
this is.
really can't. Some men can't really
I know
really
they
can't
don't.
handle that.
They don't understand how this is just your job. This is the place is on fire. You throw everybody out of the house and you're there putting out the fire, but you don't go in the yard and stand in the yard yourself and let your woman stay in the house. You know what I mean? It's like your job is to make sure that the woman should be that you need to step up as a man. A lot of men don't know how to step up as a man. They don't know how to be a man in the relationship. And
They
maybe it's
wasn't
because women try to
That's
be so
because they
much.
wasn't taught how to
How do
be.
you
That's right.
not be a man in a relationship? I don't understand that.
There's a lot of men that just don't. That don't. There's men that will walk by. I've dated them. I've met them. There's men that just don't understand that this is part of your job, and it's just part of you taking care of me now. I take care of you. You're gonna take care of me.
What was? Go ahead with it. With
Oh,
the
I don't
job.
want to get into examples. I'm not gonna go
I
that
mean,
far.
I
But some
do
men.
one.
But you said it yourself. You said men don't. You said it yourself. Men don't know how to step up sometimes.
That's not what I said.
What'd you say then?
Some men will not step up when they dealing with a woman that thinks she got it all and know it all.
So you're not telling me. So these men that are in relationships, they're only in relationships with women that
No,
think
no,
they
not
got it all.
all.
Because I've met a lot of men,
Not
and I've
all.
dated some
Not
men
all.
that don't step up at all. And maybe it's because, people do what you allow them to do, and maybe because
That's guaranteed.
maybe I stepped up too much.
That's
So maybe
guaranteed.
when it wasn't getting done the way I wanted to get done, I stepped up too much, and they
When
said,
you-
"Shit, I don't have to do anything because
you-
she's doing it all," and that might be my fault.
the more rope you give,
Yep.
the more they'll take.
That's right.
You can't start something and stop it.
I know.
It's kind of hard for a person to stop something.
Yep.
You can't get middle ways in a relationship and say
This doesn't work for
gotta
me.
change.
Nope. And then it keeps getting worse, and then it keeps getting worse
Right.
because it's a momentum. They're like,
Then people
I
gonna
did
have
this,
attitudes.
I did
about
this. I shit on the floor once. Man, shit on the floor again. Man, shit on the floor again.
I
You
was
know.
hoping don't nobody shit on the floor. That just
Well,
didn't
Don't
sound.
put no shit on the floor.
I was
Well,
like, you should
it's kind of
use
it's kind of like letting your
Use
dog
it
shit on the
badly.
floor, and then 6 months later, it's like you want to beat your dog because he's shitting on the floor. But you allowed me to shit on the floor, so now you want to change it? You can't change that. You should have told me not to shit on the floor in the beginning.
Hmm.
And even and what happens is sometimes people we become complacent. We say, okay, man, it's not maybe it's not that bad. Maybe if they're both not pulling, if I'm dating a guy and they're not pulling their weight or not stepping
the
up
way you want them to do it.
or at all.
Hmm.
Or at all. I mean, and
Okay.
I'm not present.
But see,
I'll say, go ahead.
But I've dated.
I mean,
I've
but
dated
that's
guys.
when I feel like that. I feel like with that, like at your dating stage, is when you're supposed to tell the person what your expectations are. in a relationship.
You,
Because
you, I,
sometimes if you tell a person like, hey, I expect this, this, and this, and they tell you they expect this, this, and this, when you actually are in a full blown blossoming relationship, you're getting what you expected. So if a person flat out tells you, I don't
What
wash
if,
dishes, I don't
what
wash
if the person
clothes,
that
I
was
don't
on the
cook,
other end? What if the person on the other end of that conversation wasn't listening?
well, that's their fault.
yeah.
So then they can't get mad when if you wasn't listening, you can't get mad when the
Yeah.
person starts, wigging out on you because you like, what you mad for?
Nobody
Well,
walks into a relationship and says, when they're getting to know each other, nobody says, by the way, I I fart in my sleep. I
I do.
I will never do ABCD. I don't do yard work. I don't clean the house. I don't do anything. I don't do any of this. Nobody says that. That's not the
Yes,
conversation
I
you
do.
have.
I've had that conversation.
One thing I've
I,
I
had that conversation. I've asked what their expectations was
I'm
no,
about
we
of
don't.
me
I
in
don't
a
do I don't
relationship.
do expectations. I know you don't do housework.
But I'm just saying, like when I ask the expectations, because some people expect you to cook for them. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Take them to work. I'm just throwing things out there. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. That's what you expect me to do. Okay, fine. So I'm telling you what I expect. I expect you to take the trash out. I expect you to, clean the bathroom or whatever the case may be. So
okay.
therefore,
Why?
while we in this relationship,
Listen, some people are so set in their routine. Why should somebody bother that? If some people know they take their trash out on Tuesday, why would I bother that? You know what I mean? They got their routine that they do. This is what they do. I know I do this. And when you come into your relationship, you don't want to fuck up their flow.
No.
I mean, come on.
no. But I mean, if
Sometimes
if
you
you
don't even
see a woman
tell
clean the
the man what
kitchen,
they get the trash go out.
no, I'm just saying this, like this,
Then
with
some
that,
men got
I get that. But if you see your, not you, Rocco, but I'm just saying, if you see your husband clean the kitchen or whatever, okay, grab the trash, get the trash out. Or if you see your wife cleaning the kitchen, grab the trash, get the trash out. Or if you see a sink full of dishes, rinse them off, put them in the dishwasher.
what man
Whatever the case.
man's job to take out the trash.
Nobody says the man
I
job to take
thought
out
it
trash.
was
She's
the
just using an
kids' job
example.
to
She's
take out
just
the trash.
well,
I
there's
No,
know.
no
I'm
kids
not.
in the
I'm using it as an
She's used as
example.
an
I'm not.
example. It's
Yeah, I'm not saying.
50-50.
Listen. I'm been in relationships. Like, I take the trash out. I do all of that. Hell, I'll take the car to the place to get detailed. I don't give a damn.
But
You
you
know what I'm
expect
saying? Like I don't feel like it's one sided. I feel like
it's not.
everybody should do the same thing.
It should do anything. So it's
Just like
you're
if
not
I
above doing it. That's the thing. If it needs to be done, it should get done. Somebody just has to do it.
right, like if I
Well,
go to the grocery store, then I expect them to bring the groceries in. Do I expect them to put them away? No, because then I'm gonna get irritated that you didn't put it where I wanted you to put it. So I'm gonna do it myself.
so I know don't just say this for the public ear, man. So what if the man came home with the groceries? Do you supposed to go help?
Yeah,
I would always hope. If there was groceries
I
in the
always bring groceries in,
man
even
has to be
when
more than one trip. Absolutely. But I've never known a man buy
even
that
when
many
he
groceries.
bring groceries in or whatever, I still grab groceries. When my son's bringing groceries in, I still grab groceries. I don't feel like it's one sided with anything. That's just me.
Okay.
Every woman
Now
is not like that.
now let me explain something. Okay, you say you went to the store. Don't nobody would know you went to the store, right? Okay, the man is watching television, doing whatever he do. How does he know he need to come outside and grab bags? Most of them just have an attitude after they took 3 bags in. I'm supposed to jump up. Oh, I read your mind. You went to the store. So where does that
But
come from?
that's like that
See, now
that
you
is like a
showing up.
communication.
Now you're not independent enough because the bags are heavy.
No, but that's like a communication because first of all, when your woman walk out the door, she should have said, "Hey, babe, I'm going to the grocery store. Do you need something? Do you want something?" So that way, one, you know where she's at, and two, you know what she's going to do. Three,
First of all, you
she
don't
could have
know.
called you on her way home and said, "Hey, babe, I'm on my way to the house. I got the groceries."
Ain't
It's
nobody.
that's kind of it's just communication. Communication is key, and it goes a long way.
And yeah, you're right.
Everybody
Communication.
can't don't know how to communicate.
Not people, I agree with that. I think
especially
people,
when you boasting about how independent you are.
yeah. Or when you're finished with the conversation, you just hang up the phone and don't say goodbye. I mean, communication goes both sides and it goes both ways. Some people don't communicate well. They don't speak well. They don't communicate well. So I agree with you. It is communication. And trust me, I can't imagine a woman just gets up and walks out the door and doesn't tell her boyfriend or husband that she's not going to that she's going to the store.
I
Yeah,
know.
I don't even gotta tell my kids I'm going to the store. They got my location,
I tell
and I'll
everybody
just get
that
a
I'm going to.
text.
I announce it.
I'll get a text like, "Hey, can you bring home some hot pockets and pop tarts?"
Yep. I always say
But
this.
then they'll
I'm heading to the
see when I'm
store. Do you
coming
need
home.
anything? 'Cause I always ask if you need anything.
Yeah,
Hmm.
my kids so nosy. My Alexa announce when I'm home. They'll be like, "Mommy's home," and they know
Well,
to come out, get the groceries, take them back in.
So what was it? Why? I guess the question of this was why do you think that women need to announce that they're?
I think they won't. They. I think they giving off the impression that they don't need no one but themselves. And
But they just come
but I
out and
don't
announce it. So they
understand the
sitting at dinner
both.
table saying, "I don't need anybody. I'm independent," or
No,
how
they
does it come
just
up
might be in a crowd. You know,
in a crowd?
yeah, like you might be in a bar and pool or
She said maybe
something,
it's Tourette's.
and women just
Announce, I'm
when
independent.
it be a conversation that probably came up, and somebody say this to a woman or say that to a woman, or somebody over there said something about women always begging or something. Then the conversation
Women
comes.
do have tendencies. Some women do have
I,
tendencies.
I
And
mean,
some women believe that they need to be taken care
that
of.
you owe them, that the man owes them. I don't.
I don't know.
That
Oh,
any man owes them.
I mean,
I feel
because
like this. I'm a woman though, and I'm gonna say this, and I might catch heat for it, but I don't care. But a lot of women feel like men owe them,
that's what I just said.
and yeah, but my theory is, don't nobody in this world owe you shit.
Mm, tell me.
Nobody. Don't nobody in
I
this world owe you shit. Not even the kids that you bear for 9 months and push their big ass head through that tunnel. They don't even owe you.
Damn, Tony.
Okay? Nobody owes you nothing. So you being independent that's by choice. You
and,
chose to be independent, so live with it. You
and it's
can't
nobody's
expect
job.
who's a man who was already independent to come in and cater to you when you run around and talk about I'm independent, I pay my own bills, I don't need no man for nothing. So keep it that way.
But
But
there's women
Keep
that
it
but
that way.
behind closed doors that change.
but there's also women that already come into it believing that a man is there. Their sole purpose is to take care of that woman,
Right.
is to make sure that that woman, their nails are done,
Right.
their hair, done. There's like, I mean, more than just a basic necessities. They believe that's what the man is there for. What's in it for
And
me?
that's
I
the
got
wrong
to
demeanor to have. That's the wrong demeanor to have because at the end of the day, he's not supposed to have you. Listen, your hair and your nails is your problem. As long as that man is paying the bills and making sure the household is good, well,
I think
paying his part or whatever,
But some
whatever
women,
you need is your business.
I think the
but
problem is there's a lot of women with their own place and their own thing going on. So you got everything going on for yourself. I don't think you should move a man in. Don't ask this man to stay here because it's gonna be a conflict of interest. You know what I mean? Because
if a woman doesn't know how to step back and let a man step up,
I
and if a
mean,
man doesn't know how to step up and she expects him to step up, that's also part of it.
most of the step up is mentally.
A man knows how to step up. He just don't want to, especially if you constantly saying you can do this yourself.
But don't let me kick the boots off your foot because you independent and you work hard. You know what I mean?
No, don't kick my boots off.
Yeah.
That's how I
So
see it. I don't. That's what I say. I don't understand why women do that. Like if you pay your own bills, fine, cool. Kudos to you. I pay my own bills. Do I want a man to come in and help me? Of course. Why not?
I
Is
mean,
it
it's
mandatory? No, especially if you don't live in my household.
but if you're independent, why expect a man to buy you drinks and take you out and stuff like that? You should go out and be like, "Hey,
You
I
can
got
be
this."
self sufficient. Like Lily said, there's difference between self sufficient and then
I don't.
independent. But
Okay, be self sufficient,
you can be self
but
sufficient.
be a woman in the street.
Yeah,
Amen.
Don't
but
tell
No,
me.
that's
self
right. That's
Don't
100%.
tell
sufficiency,
me I do this for
but
myself. I
self
do that for
sufficiency
myself.
and being independent, honestly, is two different things.
That's right. I agree with that.
I'm just saying, I don't
Because
mind a woman
being
taking
self
care of
sufficient means that you're doing what you're supposed to do as an adult.
That's
You're paying
right.
your bills. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Being independent means you don't need nobody for anything. That means you don't need a man to come and lay next to you and tell you that
why
you cute.
do women
You don't need that.
about it? They
Because
boast about it on TV or
I don't know. Because women, I think it's just their. I don't know. I don't know
It's
why.
really to. I'm gonna tell you. It's
you
really to boost a woman's. It's really to boost a woman's confidence. But when you boosting a woman's confidence, you're not supposed to tell her like, "Oh, tell this person you're independent." You're supposed to say, "Honey, you got worth. You like, you know what I'm saying? You are worth whatever the case may be, and have self sufficiency. Be
Or
able
is
to
it
stand on your own."
just don't tell me. Let me treat you as just I would treat a non-independent woman. You know, just hey, you ain't gotta talk about that. I don't think we have to talk about it. That's the thing.
No,
Men
you
don't run.
don't. You shouldn't even.
See, one thing
Right?
men
You
don't
shouldn't.
do is run around and boast how they take care of themselves. Men don't do
well, we just expect? Yeah,
that. But
you know why?
you
Because
know,
we assume that. We assume most men do take care of themselves.
yeah,
It's almost like the role, but in women, there's a stigma that women need men, and I
okay.
think that might be why a woman says, "I don't need a man. I'm independent."
Men need women too.
Only for a couple hours or a couple of 5 minutes,
Maybe three.
maybe
At
3 minutes.
top out at three.
That's
Yeah,
not a good night.
for somebody.
That's what she said.
Listen, a man needs a woman just like a woman needs a man. It does not make you have a dependency on that
I
person.
think
But
my thing is I prefer not to hear about what you do for yourself, and then you turn around and say, "Do you buy me something to eat? You buy me?" That's not what you just said. Don't say it to yourself, then ask. You know, no asking, "Hey, you pay my car note this week?" I thought you was independent when it was 30 people listening.
first
Don't
of all, if you're a grown ass person and you
even
asking
need help.
somebody else to pay your car note, you need to kill
Some
yourself. Okay, that's
things,
number one.
shit, I ask all the time.
You're asking the wrong person.
I see. That what she said.
Yeah, that's not.
she,
But
It's
see,
not.
but that's listen. It's different when you're in a relationship and you asking your spouse that. When you're
Yeah.
not in a relationship, you shouldn't be asking nobody to pay shit for you.
what if you just
No,
you
I,
said,
I would. I just don't have any friends that have any
see
money.
women don't see. I think the problem came in the last 20 years when men started paying out, giving out so much to women. Now they think they deserve it just because
that's
they're
It's
like
a
it's an
woman.
expected.
entitlement.
Just because they're a
It's an
woman.
entitlement. It's
So
an
Yes.
entitlement.
Yep.
so what what I'm saying is, if don't tell me you do for yourself. I do everything by my mom, blah blah. Okay, cool. But don't turn around and call and say, "Can you buy me an iPad? Could you pay for my gas?" Okay, but you were so independent that you didn't need me last month, but you need me this one. And I understand everybody go through something, but I
Now that's
prefer
not going through something.
just don't tell
That's
it.
not going through something.
Just
Somebody asking for their iPad or getting their hair done is not going through something. That's not going through something.
if I talk tough about me, how much money I got and what I do with money, I ask you for shit. Cause it hurt my pride. So I think women just don't have no pride. What make y'all
That
explain this to me?
a lot of women are prideful.
What
They
makes
rather
women
struggle than ask for help.
deserve? What gives the woman a right to ask a man for something, and maybe they've been
There's
just
nothing.
met.
There's nothing. There's nothing. I don't have any
Nothing.
rights over anything that I'll ask it if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I need
Right.
help. That's a different story.
Okay, so you're not in a relationship.
No, I've never go to
Maybe
somebody.
y'all been
I'm not.
Never.
courting.
If I'm not in a relationship, I'm not asking nobody for shit.
Never.
Nice.
They
Oh my
might.
god.
Y'all. I guess y'all over 60 or something.
No, I never. I've never.
No.
This, but I've also never had. I've always been able to. I've always been self sufficient. Right now, I depend on my partner a little bit more because I'm not quite self sufficient. But I have never asked anybody that I wasn't in a relationship with for anything. I never. I would never go if I would date you a couple times and ask you for some money.
What?
I'd be so embarrassed.
They might ask the night they get out the car after the first date.
No, not me.
I've
Me.
I've heard stories. that women have done that
We can tell.
have asked the same night, can
The
they
first
get this,
night,
that, and the third?
I've seen a man tell me, he went to see the woman, she went, and she was like, well, I want to go out with you, but I need you to send me this, send me that, so I get my hair fixed and my outfit. What you wore on the last date?
Was probably, especially if it's your first date, like you guys have dated before.
I ain't never seen you in it
Well,
before.
then you don't know what. Yeah, exactly.
Well, what you wore for him?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
I mean, you got a gal you like a little bit. She asked for something, it's cool, but at least
I don't know. I don't.
I don't think if we ain't never been
Intimate.
right, that's the word I'm looking for. We ain't did the do.
Intimate.
I won't say did the do.
Okay.
I don't think you got the right.
I don't think a woman does unless you guys are in a relationship, and then it's tough. But
Okay,
unless you don't come to somebody and say, "Listen, can I get some money?" You don't ever do that.
so if
Now,
that's like prostitution, though, right? Soon as we get through, you say you need $60 to pay your phone bill. I just paid for the
Yep.
bush, right?
Yep.
So,
you pay
but
it is you
but
pay for it.
why? So that means we're not in a relationship. We're not working on a relationship. I just paid for what I wanted, right?
However you want to view it.
I mean,
That must
I'm
be
just
since
saying.
I paid for it. It was a mutually beneficial encounter.
Right.
I got my dick wet, and you got
So,
$60.
So next week when you call me
It's
talking about
going
taking
rate
you out,
$60.
I mean, I don't offer them but 20 to 25.
I understand that.
I don't.
I understand that. They should demand
I
more of
don't
them.
pay well.
Well, you don't.
I mean,
I'm sure. But it's not like
I
how can you? But you can't
bill
put,
me.
You can't put money on minutes though, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
shit. And then what if I show out real good? Do I get some of that money back?
Well, that'd be
Do that money come back?
no.
When the two
I think
you go
if
boom,
it's
boom.
Poor girl.
Okay. I think I've done pretty well in that area. But anyway, so once you ask me for some money after sex, right?
Is that how it's done?
It's no more. Well, most of their problems come up after they done gave you some. That's when their problems come up. Okay, I don't mind it. Okay, this to me in my head, this was a business deal, right? So next week, don't call me talking about taking you out. We ain't got to do that. I'm gonna give you $60 more.
I'm just
We
gonna go over
just
hit
do
it
the do again.
Yeah.
I got
Or
them
your
six-
case
I got them
25. I'm
six.
gonna give you 25.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit it for exactly 93 seconds,
Mhm.
and it's over with.
You can count.
Deuces. Yep. Here's your
And-
$25.
and it ain't gonna hurt.
See you later. It's not gonna hurt. You don't even know I'm there.
Uh,
You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna disturb your
you
hair.
don't know I'm in it.
Yeah, you know that's right. I'm not gonna wake you up.
Probably ain't gonna hurt.
Not even gonna wake you up.
But so that's what it is. When a woman asks you for something and she's independent, you paying for her. She making money off her time, right?
I think in any kind of way. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know if you're in a relationship, you kind of pay for stuff anyways. I mean, you pay regardless. I think you're paying in one way or the other, whether it's monetarily, mentally, physically, emotionally. You're paying. Huh?
Man, I was saying Houston must be winning. I heard.
Oh, game's on.
Yeah. So I know we ain't gonna have too many men tuned in, and a lot of women not tuned in today to hear.
Well,
about,
nobody even they give up on us. They don't even think
women.
that we were
That's
alive
all right,
anymore.
we back. I'm back. Rocco the Great is back. Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see for how long.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna let you and Lily wrap that up so I can catch some of the game.
Okay.
If y'all don't mind.
Yep.
Stop boasting about y'all independence.
We're not. I think Lily and I are both on the same page. Neither one of us boast about us being independent.
I mean, if you're independent, you should know it, right? You don't have to tell anybody. They should see it. Okay.
Deuces.
What did she say?
Abiento.
Who?
Bonsoir. Good evening. Good
You know
night.
you're not supposed to drink on the job.
All right, Lily. Any final thoughts on that now that Rocco the Great is going to the bedroom?
Oh no, yeah, I'm here. Sorry, Nikki's having an asthma attack. Sorry.
Oh no, is she okay? Let's wrap it up. Let's get this done. You're good. I gotta leave. I'll wrap it up. You take care of Nikki.
All right.
All right, guys, that is it. We are. Lily had to get off real quick. She had a family emergency. I apologize for that. And Rocco the Great has taken a show on the road. It's not a long road. It's a one-lane highway probably, but either way, he is gone. We will be back again this Wednesday. Some cool things happening in the 478 we're going to let you know about. And I don't know. I don't know if we solved the problem with, or the question of why do women think they need to boast they're independent. I think it's just out there. I think if you're independent, people know you're independent. But that was not a topic that we came up with. That was Rocco the Great's topic. Wednesday's going to be a doozy. I'm going to drop some hints this week though to get you all tuned in. Thank you for having us. Sorry that we've been gone, and have a good night, 478.